Hello, and welcome to the Next Great Car Era, a podcast by EVTUNERS. I'm your host, Daniel Martin, and today I'm joined by Laurent Frugier, one of the three co-founders of Fuel to Electric. Founded in 2021 after doing research for their own 66 Mustang project, Fuel to Electric is a platform dedicated to EV conversion, which helps people define and design their build, receive proposals from vetted shops, and compare and purchase parts for the do-it-yourselfer. Laurent and I talk about how he got into cars, watching F1 with his family, the fuel to electric journey to date, the 66 Mustang flagship car, and much more. Right now. Enjoy. So let's dive right in. Laurent,
Yeah,
thank you so much for carving out the time and meeting with me today. It's good to see you.
thank you for having me. Very happy.
My pleasure. So I think we have a ton to talk about, but before we do, maybe start with a little bit of an intro and background for those folks who might not know you.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Laurent Frugier. You can pronounce it Laurent Frugier. It's up to you. I'm the one of the three co-founders of Fuel to Electric. And the other two guys are John Wilson, who is a very successful entrepreneur. He's been running like a really good business of converting mobility vans for 40 years. So he knows what he does. And my brother, Arno. And
Awesome.
we are also, three of us are also a proud owner of a 66 Mustang.
That's cool that you get to work with your brother. I guess
Yeah,
that could be good or bad, depending on if you guys get along.
it's very good. We've been like this forever, actually, and we always share the same passion and the same um, holidays, the
Mm.
everything. We share a lot. We are only 2 years difference. He's 2 years
Okay.
older than me, so basically, it took me everywhere. For every first time for me was with him. So like going to nightclubs and so on. We've been together forever, really.
That's awesome. What about cars? When did you guys, or did you both get interested in cars when you were younger?
Yeah, so we discussed that before, and I was like, yeah, let me think about it. But actually, there is a very vivid memory that I have is with my grandfather. He was a
Hmm.
sport fan. He would watch every races on TV, and especially Formula One. So I knew everything about Formula One before having. I was probably 8 or 9 years old. I knew
Okay.
everything. Ayrton Senna to Alain Prost to Michael Schumacher. I know all of them. There is also many more cars in the family, such as my uncle. He used to rally and he had like a
Wow.
Renault. So I'm French, so I grew up in France. So basically, all the cars I'm going to talk about on the French side are very tiny cars, rally cars like Mini Coopers or
Hmm.
5 GT Turbo. This one was very famous and very powerful. It's like a it was an '86 Renault 5 GT Turbo. It comes with a turbocharger, a Garrett T2,
Okay.
and it run a 0 to 60 in less than 8 seconds, something like that. It's very fast. It's a very small car. It was a lot of fun. So this is how I guess I got passion for cars, and also there is all the TV shows,
Hmm.
uh, especially the American ones. Um, Miami Vice is one of the best. Actually, the image on your background reminds me of this, like the sun and
A
everything.
little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Starsky and Hutch, The Knight Rider. There's
Hmm.
a lot of those TV shows that were like it's a big influence in what I am right now, and I guess all the people from my generation as well. Um, yeah, and yeah, we share some cars with my brother. Again, very tiny cars, but I
Hmm.
got my in the end. I started to work and I moved close to the sea, so I needed a car for me, and I bought an 82 Otto Bianchi, a 112. It was very fun, very fun. Everybody was talking about it. It was awesome.
Cool.
Everybody wanted to drive it. It's cool. Yeah.
The thing about small cars is that they're maneuverable and fun to drive.
Yeah.
Can be very
Yeah.
cool.
In cities, it's perfect. And so I'm tall. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6 feet two, and
Mm.
I guess I'm tall. I'm okay. I'm a 62. So it's like having a small car is really fun for me. I can drive with my legs,
Oh,
basically.
right. Yes.
It's a funny stuff, you know. When I
Uh-huh.
get out of the car, everybody's watching, looking at me like, "Yeah, you fit in that one?" Yes, I am.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool, and you feel it's very different. You really feel the car better when it's small, especially with those small cars, very light suspensions,
Hmm.
uh, very noisy engine. So it's you feel it when you drive it.
It's like a full experience.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm curious, back to F1. So did your grandpa have a favorite team? And do you still follow that team or a different one now?
Oh, we went from McLaren to Ferraris, but basically French drivers,
Oh,
which
follow the French drivers.
yes, exactly. So in that case, it would be Alain Prost, but he was a very aggressive, and he was playing by the book. So you know, he would complain about like someone being too close, or so he would complain a lot. So it was not my favorite, but for my grandfather, it was the one to support.
Hmm.
French.
Yes. Isn't the team Renault is from France, right?
Yes.
So that's a French team.
Yes, Renault is from France, and but you know, there's been along the years, there's been a lot of mixing
Mm.
motors with teams. So it's like now Red Bull is moving to with Ford. They used to be Honda, but still it's Red Bull.
Right.
Uh, they've been switching engines here and there for a long time. So Prost, I guess, he ran for McLaren, Ferrari. I don't remember exactly if he was for Ferrari. Anyway, they change team often. I
Yeah.
have to say. Yeah.
It's kind of like production cars as well. There's a lot of like alliances and sharing of engines. And I mean, a simple example, Toyota has a BMW engine in their Supra now. And so yeah, that happens a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, they go. I guess there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of partnerships. There's the Formula One, but there is also like the teams. They have like other categories they run, like
Sure.
F3, F2, F1, and many more. So there is like, yeah, it's bigger than F1 actually.
Hmm.
F1 is just the tip of the iceberg, and the competition is hard. And there is only a few, like there are 20, 30 drivers. It's crazy, 10 teams, something like that. It's nothing. So they're the best. And especially
Yes.
now with Netflix getting more and more spotlights on them. It's getting crazy with the race in Miami, with the race in Vegas next year. It's yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. It's cool to see. It's cool to see it getting a little bit more airtime.
Yeah. And now especially there is like cameras on board.
Uh-huh.
You have the mics, so you can listen to the team talking to the driver. It's very, very different from before. Before it was like, oh, the race is stopped. What happened?
Mm. Yeah.
They had to replay all the cameras and find what happened. Okay, there is a red flag here. Someone crashed, whatever. So it's
Mm.
yeah, the way it's being broadcasted has evolved like even faster than the engines and the cars themselves. It's crazy.
It'll be fun to see how that continues to progress.
Yeah, it will. Now they have the camera inside the helmet. It's
See what the driver sees.
yeah, exactly. So it's more like a video game now. When you watch the race, you
Hmm.
feel like you're in the video game. So the two worlds that they merge, the video games becomes the reality, and the reality is closer to the video game. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So speaking of all things changing and progressing and all of that, was there a point when you got interested in electric cars? As you know, you had this background in cars and you were driving small, maneuverable, fun cars. When did electric come on the radar for you?
Yeah. So I'm an engineer in information system, and I used
Okay.
to in 2007 I started to work for the national electricity company in France. And at that time,
Mm.
I was working on smart grid projects. So
Okay.
it was all about infrastructure, charging station, and it was not R&D, but it was thinking about how the city would be 20 years, 30 years from now.
Hmm.
So, and it was 15 years ago. And at that point, I was like, okay, that's interesting. We think about how cars, like gasoline cars, they will disappear. It's interesting. And then I got into more and more projects, and I realized that was the future. I moved to DC, and then I tried the Nissan Leaf. I
Mm.
was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fun. That's
Uh-huh.
fun. Gives you a ride kick. I remember it was a hilly at that time, and you just had to go through full throttle,
Yeah.
and then you feel the kick instantly. I was like, oh, that's fun.
That
And then
torque.
yeah, the torque is torque at 0 RPM. Full torque is
Uh-huh.
it's insane. It's insane, really. If you don't know it, you don't know what it is until you do it. And then the Prius somehow gives you a slight taste of how silent it could be, of
Mm.
how easy it is to drive. And finally, I moved to New York, and then I tried the Tesla. And Tesla Model S dual motor, it was insane, insane. I felt I was in a rocket. And
Yeah.
actually, my brother was there too. I was
Oh,
driving.
really?
He was on the back, and yeah, we used to live at the same time in New York. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try the Tesla. Come with me. I was like, yeah, okay, let's try that. And so we made a stop.
Hmm.
Asked the guy for the test, can I push it hard? He said, okay, but wait, there is too much cars for us. I was like, no, they're far away. No, they're not far. You'll see. And I stepped on the throttle, and my brother, he didn't put his head on the back of the seat.
Uh-huh.
He got he got hit like this. It was insane, and I felt the blood in my legs, and I couldn't manage to keep the foot on the throttle. It was insane. It was insane. Like, like incredible experience. So gradually, but with a big hit with the Tesla Model S, we I moved to more electric cars, and I think it is the I think this is where it's going, and there is no need to explain that. It's settled now.
Yeah. When you mentioned about like once you feel that torque kick in, the power, it's almost addicting. It's like a roller coaster, and you just want to keep. It's so much fun.
I
Love
remember
it.
it was wet, and the road was not flat, but a little bit like this. And so I was like, I pushed it. We made it twice,
Uh-huh.
and I pushed it, and I felt really the car was correcting itself. And it was so I was 100% sure I would finish the race on the side of the side of the road. But
Yeah.
no, the way it's tuned,
Uh-huh.
uh, the way the car reacts, it's mind blowing. And the torque, it's true. It's a very unique sensation. And it's addictive. Once you tried it, you don't want to go back to this boring automatic V6 or even V8 sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, it's addictive.
And now you're working on rebuilding a Mustang to have that instant kick.
Yeah,
66, you said, right?
66 Mustang Coupe. So this is the story of the fuel electric really. I talked to my brother. I talked to John. So John was involved. He was the owner and a CEO of three conversion shops in Arkansas. So he knew the world of cars and conversion
Okay.
a lot. He's like a mentor to us. And I told him I want to convert a car, and we thought about it. We found a builder, and really easily we focused on the 66 Mustang because it's easy to maintain. There's a lot of parts. Everybody loves the Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
We got very lucky. We found one that needed no restoration, only,
Wow.
only upgrades. Yeah, the car was sleeping. I think it was the second owner, and it was sleeping inside the garage and taken out only when very nice weather. Say.
Hmm.
Um, so it was perfect. The exterior is perfect. We're not going to change anything about it. The interior is pristine. We don't have to change anything about it. But we went with a few upgrades. So we changed the front suspension, the brakes, the wheels,
Okay.
because we're gonna have two motors, two net gain motors,
Okay.
120 volts, um, and it's like 240 horsepower. So we needed some safety, like an upgrade in everything: brakes, suspensions, uh,
Yes.
front end rear. And
Brakes
this
have
is
come a long ways since the 60s. They're much
yeah.
better now.
Even yeah, from the beginning, the Mustang is known for bad brakes. So upgrading it was an easy decision. It was an automatic transmission, so we decided to change it for manual,
Mm.
and and we should have good performance with it. There is a lot of Mustangs being converted here and there, so we got a lot of connection now.
Yeah.
We know what needs to be done, and we know we're gonna have fun soon.
So you're hooking up the dual net gains to now a 5-speed transmission?
Yes, it is.
That's going to be
Yes,
really cool.
yes, sir. Yeah, there is a lot of questions about going with or without clutch. We decided to keep the clutch in case of emergency. There is also like transmission or torque converter.
Mm-hmm.
Converter at that time, because we started almost a year and a half ago. But we weren't sure that it was a good investment, and so we kept the manual. We decided to change the automatic and to go to the manual. And actually, learning how to drive in France Like we used we don't have automatic cars. Well, we didn't have automatic cars uh, 30 years, 20 years ago. So having a stick was something that I wanted.
It's nostalgic and fun. I miss driving manual also. And
Yeah,
what's cool about the EVs, right? When you have it hooked up to a manual, you don't have to row gears all the time if you don't want to. You can just leave it in third for your
exactly.
daily. But if you want to have fun, you can.
That's the thing. It's not a button you press. It's not like going to do you want to go to ludicrous mode? No, it's you still have the analogic stick in your hand. You can really and some people would drive it in three. Some people, depending on the condition of
Sure.
depending on the use, the way you want to use it. Do you want to burn tires? Do you want to drive smoothly? Do you want to race or whatever? So you can adapt the gear, and it's in your hand, really, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
What about battery pack, battery management, engine
So
controller, stuff like that? What are you going
yeah.
for?
So we'll go. Controller comes with net gain.
Net
It's
gain
always the
controller.
same. Yeah. We don't change that. It's a winning team. We didn't want to go too far. Research and development, we're not good at it. We spend so much time getting feedback about the best setup.
Mm,
We didn't want to be involved in trying new things, actually. We wanted it to drive, to be safe, and to enjoy it. Um, so in terms of batteries, we have a 52 kilowatt battery pack, Tesla.
okay.
So it's a 10 modules. So it's going to be two P5S, so 5 batteries and 2 packs in parallel. So we're gonna have a good performance. Like the C rating altogether is really good.
Yeah.
BMS, we choose the dilithium from Thunderstruck.
Hmm.
And beside that, there's the charger. We have a 6.6 kilowatt, and it's an Alcon DC-DC converter, same. And that's almost everything. Actually, Arno takes care of the build, so he could talk more about it. But yeah, I think it's most of it is here. Yeah, we need the pumps for the. We're gonna add an AC.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
it's gonna be nice, comfortable, but also scary.
Yes. Probably more powerful than when it was brand new.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Because it's so it used to be a V6. So it was like 120 horsepower.
Like
So
double.
yeah, replacing by one net gain would be the same. That's why we upgraded everything else.
I like
Uh,
your style.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because usually, if you convert a classic car and you just want the conversion, you have to keep the same power. You don't want to go too big. Otherwise, you have to change everything else: brake, suspension,
Mm,
at least. But if you want to go a little bit crazy, then you have to upgrade here and there. And so if you want to go crazy with a car that needs restoration, you need to restore it, you need to upgrade it, and then to convert it to electric. That's a long way to go. It's a too long shot. It was a too long shot for us. So upgrading was necessary. Being scary is the basics,
right.
and and this is what we're doing right now.
So the end goal for this car is it going to be a daily? Is it going to be a company car? Is it a little bit of both?
Oh, we love everybody in the family to use it. We wanna bring it to some shows. Basically, if I go backward in the year, in November, there's gonna be SEMA.
Mm-hmm.
Just we might go to Electrify Expo in Austin. We're gonna go also at Home on the Range. We were there
Oh,
last
great.
year. John was there last year, but we didn't have the car, so it's gonna be very different with the car. We're gonna do some local cars shows in Arkansas, cars and coffee, stuff like that.
Awesome.
And yes, every time we don't take it to a show, we're gonna use it. We want to go to the grocery store. We want to bring the kids to school. The kids love it already.
I
Uh,
bet.
and yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be maybe not a daily because we're gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
It's an expensive bill, but we might use for everything. We might use it for everything. Not every day, but for everything.
Like a weekend car. It's a fun car. It can do
Yeah,
whatever you want, but it's, not, you're not taking it out in the snow or the rain.
exactly, exactly. We're gonna go to the lake. We're gonna go to Target, whatever. We want people to see it. So
Yeah.
we wanna talk to people. So plug it in a public charging station. It's gonna be a whole experience too. Um, Basically, the car show will be brought with the car.
Yeah.
Everywhere we're gonna bring it. People are gonna talk to us about it. It is so strange. It's good. It's good.
I think that's totally going to happen. I don't know if you heard it, but Kevin Erickson. I think he has the Plymouth satellite. I was
Yeah.
just talking to him, and he was telling me a story about being plugged in at a public charger, and people were really scratching their head, and especially when they saw it plugged in, and they're like, "Wait a minute, what?" And it led to a whole bunch of people getting excited.
Even the exterior of the electrolyte is beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So yeah, it's an eye catcher, and when it's plugged in, I mean, you make new friends easily. And I know Kevin. We met at SEMA last year,
Mm,
and his build is one of the best. I mean, and it's very popular to a lot. It's not only the EV conversion community who's interested in this car. Everybody is interested in this car.
right.
Yeah, it's
Car
very
people.
reliable. Yeah, exactly.
So when is the goal, knock on wood, if everything goes well for the Mustang, when do you think it'll be done?
June 1st. We need to bring it to the Ford. How do you call it? The Ford seller.
The dealer?
Yeah, the Ford dealer in Fayetteville. We're supposed to put them head to head with a Mustang, the last one, the Mac GT, is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'll
So
be interesting.
yeah. I think it's gonna be fine. They did the same thing with the Bronco, although
Mm,
it was a converted Bronco. They put an old Bronco and the new one. And so we talked to the guy and we said, okay, we had something. We had something for you. And he was like jumping up to the roof, like, oh yeah, I want
yeah.
that. I want to see that. Let's try that. And so this is going to be this will be the same, the first place we're gonna bring it. So very close to us. Maybe we'll make some drive test with customers,
Yeah.
and we'll see. We'll advertise it, and it's easier to go local first. We can talk to people, and we have uh, many more things to say when they are neighbors. It's easier, and we'll see. We get feedback about the car, about the company too, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we're gonna get some leads here and there.
I can't wait for the unveiling, and hopefully you take some video or pictures of that event.
Oh,
I'm
we will.
super
We will.
stoked.
Yeah, every time we're gonna drive it, it's good content
Yeah.
for social media, and you know how it is. The more you, now it's like you can post one picture per month. It's you're nothing if you do that. So the more content you have, the more people get interested in what you do.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be the Mustang will be the do you say the flag car? Yeah,
Flagship,
flagship, the flagship.
but
Uh,
basically flag car. Yeah.
yeah, could be, huh? Could be of the company, and yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about it. It's gonna be fun to bring it everywhere, and we hope people will like it.
I think that they will. A lot going for it. Um, Catch me up on the company a little bit. Fuel to electric.
Yeah, fuel to electric. So, fuel to electric is basically the consequence of the conversion of the Mustang. When we started, there was like it's EV conversion is the jungle. If you want to know something about a certain topic, you're gonna find everything. So it's the jungle of EV conversion mixed with the jungle of internet. Uh,
Hmm.
you're gonna find YouTube videos. Some are awesome, great. Uh, I think about Inspire EV. They've made the same EV conversion with the Mustang,
Yeah.
uh, and they've made really nice videos, hours of videos. It's nice. Plus, there are three guys exactly like us, so we could totally relate to them.
Hmm.
But what happened with the Mustang is that we asked so many questions, like hundreds of questions to people. And in return, we got more questions. It was really frustrating. And we
Mm.
felt like people were not interested in the project, or people were not interested in us because we didn't get enough information at the moment we were asking the question. Like, you know what, you should spend 6 more months watching binging videos on YouTube, and then come back to me and we'll have a real discussion. Same,
Yeah.
same in forums.
Yeah. Oh, did you use the search function?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know
Yeah.
Google? Like, I'm crying for help.
Yeah.
I'm lost. Can you help me? And we realized that we were asking the same questions again and again, always the same questions to a lot of people, and we spent hours, if yeah, hundreds of emails, hundreds of hours, like asking and re-explaining the project. Although it didn't change from the beginning, we wanted it to be more powerful. We knew what we wanted,
Yeah.
and we had a budget in mind, so it was pretty clear where we were going. And so we thought about it, and we said, okay, there is a missing, something is missing here. Um, First, there should be a place where you can find like parts from different vendors and ratings and reviews. This is the basic, like, okay, I'm buying this part from you, but you're not gonna tell me it doesn't work with this or that. Sometimes they do, often they don't.
Mm.
Uh, um, and also a list of all the builders, like who does EV conversion around me? It's a very simple question, but Google Map doesn't do it today. And and finally, explaining all the time the same question, we're like, okay, we should be this person, like helping people, being in the middle, and helping people to design their projects and verify with them that they're requirements, I always say the same. Requirements, constraints, and budget should be aligned from the beginning. If you want to talk to a builder, if you want to address submit your project to a builder, this is what you need at first. And in the end, we did exactly that. We created a platform with 3 main features. The first one is the multi-vendor marketplace. So you can buy all the parts you need from one place, from different vendors. You don't have to look into your emails and look for like bills and tracking numbers and stuff like that. You can compare products. There's comments and ratings. The second feature is the map of vendors, which was so obvious to me. It's to us. It was like, okay, we here. Who does EV conversion in the states or in the neighboring states? And there is more and more people. Like we have today, I think since we talked together, we added 6 or 7 new shops.
Wow.
So now we have 54 vendors, shops, builders listed on Fuel to Electric. It's crazy. It goes faster than expected. And the third and very unique feature is the projects. The project is basically, you have a project, you submit your vehicle, you go through our questionnaire, and we start the conversation like this. Okay, this is your project. Now we talk. Your budget is too low, or your expectations are too high. 400 miles of range, not in a. If it's not OEM electric car, it's not going to happen. Otherwise, you have a big truck and you put all the batteries in your bed, but you're going to be so heavy, it's useless. So that type of question. So we spend most of our time weeding out projects and at the same time educating people because they think they can convert for 15,000. They think they can convert in 2 days. So we spend a lot of our time, probably 80%, 85%, if not 90% of our time explaining what it is, what is the project of EV conversion, and it's so important. We felt so much frustration, like dealing with different people at the same time, having different information and so on. So the feedback from the project owners on the platform is good because some of them, they started like their search for a builder and they just abandoned. They decided to come to us. So it's very for now we feel like the idea, the concept of the platform is great, and now the platform is bulletproof. It's been 7 months that it's live, so the whole process of getting someone on board and connect them with builders or vendors works pretty good.
Congratulations. That's awesome that you have it launched and it's working and it's growing so quickly. That's really cool.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's growing and it's growing faster, I have to say, faster on the vendor side than on the project owner side. We want to have more and more projects. We think, so the ultimate goal is to have so much projects documented because we document the project before, during, and after. So we want to have so many projects that it's going to become a database of EV conversion. Basically, you will be able to navigate from one part to all the builds that have used this part. You're going to have access to all the builds that has been built by one specific shop or builder. So everything will be connected in the end, the parts, the builders, and the projects, and it's going to be very powerful.
Wow, yeah, that's really interesting. So, have you started to put together that back end? It sounds like it's going to be a massive schema and a database operation.
Yeah, it's ready.
It's
It's
done?
ready. Yeah, it's done.
Wow, that's very cool.
The platform is ready, and basically it's very basic. It's not that complicated. I'm an IT guy, so I speak as an IT guy.
Sure.
Uh, but I've been working on systems that are much more complicated than this one,
Mm.
and it's no, really, it's working, and we don't have to change anything today. But we're going to improve it. Obviously, we're going to get more and more feedback, weeks after weeks, months after months. We're going to improve it. But yeah, everything is ready and working.
The foundation is there.
Yeah, exactly.
So the builds, what sort of cars, like potential projects are listed right now, and any exciting ones? Anything cool? Maybe, yeah.
So
There's
there
some
is
like common ones, right? Like, oh, a Porsche or a V-Dub, Beetle, but now with lithium batteries, there's more options starting to be feasible, like muscle cars.
Yeah, it's crazy. We the last one we published is a very unique one. It's a 2007 Porsche Carrera 4S Cabriolet.
Wow.
It's coming from nowhere. We were not actually we're expecting classic cars, and we have like post 2000 cars. We have a lot of them. We are very surprised. Um, so today on the platform, there is something like 15 projects, but there is a lot more in the pipe. I have a list. I have a list. I used to have a list of what's coming, but we have a 53 Sunbeam. We have a Bronco, a Scout, Land Rover, so four by four.
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool, very good stuff, cool stuff. I had a list. I knew you would ask this question. So well, maybe I lost it.
But it sounds like a broad, lots of different types of cars.
It's very surprising. I have to say, we have also 2002 VW Eurovan. It's a family van. The guy is really involved in nature. He wants to bring his family, and he wants it to be quiet.
Yeah.
Um, and there is many different type of projects, different type of cars, and different type of project owners. This
Hmm.
is this is the most interesting part, is that every time there is a new story, every time there is a new goal, every time there is a new concern. It's so for now, I think it is because it's the beginning. There is no categories,
Right.
uh, type of conversion, and all the shops they feel the same. They receive, so some of the shops they have specialized in one specific type of car,
Hmm.
and I think this is the future. If you want to reduce cost, if you want to scale up, if you want to reduce the time you spend converting one car, you have to focus on one uh, type of car, even one model of car. So it would be Mustang. Um,
Uh,
I think this is where it's going, because converting one car requires a lot of skills, a lot of, you have to 3D scan everything. You have to think about how you're going to fit the batteries.
hmm.
This is very complicated. Um, you have to think about the weight distribution, because you want the car to be drivable and to be better than the previous version. You want to build a better version of the car,
Right.
and doing it's very time expensive. And so if you put the effort for one car, you're gonna cut the time of labor by 2 or 3 the next iteration. So now this is the so it's interesting because you want to work in different cars, you want to experience new cars, you want to have new stories, but at the same time you want your business to be how do you say, you want to make money out of your business, you want to
Right.
live, you want to feed your family. So it's always a weird balance between passion and looking for new things, and at the same time grow your business. So on our end, we only see different projects, but we see that the shops, if they have done one conversion, they will connect with the project faster because they know everything about it. They know exactly what the guy needs, the guy or the man or the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's women too, and it's pretty cool. And talking about women, I think this is where it's going. Classic car, electric classic car will be driven more and more by women, and it's a good thing. I'm looking forward to it, and we feel it. Women are interesting in the platform. They are interesting. They ask like probably the best questions because they don't talk about performance. They
Hmm.
talk about use, and it's very straight to the point, and it's pretty cool. So all the project owners are different, and having this platform in the middle will help the shop to specialize in one type of build, we think.
That makes sense. And I think you were talking about new people getting into cars, and I want to talk about community and what you're seeing. And I've seen some things as well with EV conversions is like almost opening the door for all sorts of new people to get excited about cars, and the community is really alive. But before we dive into that, technical side, you were mentioning how people are kind of specializing. And is very real reasons for that, because the things that you need to go through to convert one type of car, say a Mustang, you have to figure out each one of those roadblocks. You have to figure out the 3D scanning, things like that. Do you think that the platform could actually, fast forward 10 years, help shops to be able to diversify a little easier? Like maybe there's a way to share 3D scans on the back end where, well, I haven't scanned a Barracuda, but like there's 3 other people who have, and maybe I can reach out and we can share some of that modeling data to then be able to turn around the cars faster to the clients.
Definitely. So there is already some sites where you can find 3D scans on GitHub, such
Mm,
platforms.
sure.
It's individual how do you say that, initiative.
Yeah.
Um, we'd love to do that, especially if it's free, because the
Hmm.
platform is free. Fuel to electric is free. It's very important it's a very important concept to understand.
Hear that,
Um,
everybody? Free.
yeah, it's free. So we wanted to add. We may add 2 sections. One is almost ready. It's the training section,
Mm,
because now do-it-yourselfers, they want to get on board. Even staff in shops, they need training, at least for safety
Right.
issues, concerns. It's very dangerous to touch battery or any wire in the system. So this first training. Now, 3D scan, we are thinking about it. We had a discussion about parts such as transmission, because when you keep your manual transmission, you need an adapter plate. Adapter
Hmm.
plates, there's a lot of them, a lot of different types of transmission. So
Yeah.
this could help. There is also a lot of shops that want to have more, I would say, to be more involved into CNC
Okay.
machines. So they need scan
Fabrication, like custom fabrication.
custom fabrication, and also yeah, they would sell those parts on the website. They could also on the platform. They could also um, exchange, like I give you the 3D scan and you do the part for me. So and this is how the community should grow, the fuel to electric community. This is all about exchanging. So yeah, we thought about it. We think it's a good idea, but this is today. It's not yet our
Hmm.
priority. To be frank with you, we need to focus. We have very rational uh, priority right now. We want to help project owners. We want project owners to talk about fuel to electric and say, yeah, we liked it. We found what we were looking for. They helped us. We connect with the right shop. We're happy about the build and everything. And we're ready to talk about it and to tell the story and to make more recommendation and give advice to other people of the community. So 3D scan is one. It's gonna be V10. We are
Yeah.
already like V4. So we go fast on versions. But yeah, maybe V10
Yeah.
for fuel electric.
I mean, there has to be a critical mass of everything else before it makes sense to get into those very deep technical resources. But yeah, it makes sense. Maybe it's V15, but
Yeah,
someday.
and we need to be adopted by the community itself. It's there is already like a lot of experienced people
Mm,
and doubts about the platform. Um, we are very proud that EV West decided to join fuel to electric. It's such a
that's
great,
amazing.
yeah, it's awesome for us. We have Moment Motors with us, Ampere EV. We have big names and also small shops,
Mm,
and we want everybody to be together. So it's pretty cool, and yeah, project owners first.
yes. Well, that's where the shops know what they're doing. And when you just start out looking to do a build, there's, like you said, there's so many questions, and sometimes there's not great information online or conflicting information. And maybe you read a thread from 10 years ago and it was right at the time, but like everything has changed now because the tech is moving so fast that the right answer is no longer what was 10 years ago. And so helping people to parse through all of that information, and it's like sipping from a fire hose, but you got to quickly come up to speed.
Yeah, and when you are a do-it-yourselfer, it's fine. I mean, it's part of the journey.
Mm,
Like you want to scratch your head. You don't want to be a plug and play kit. Okay, so
sure.
you want something to be unique. So you go on different website. You're gonna connect with people. It's gonna take years, maybe 10 years, but it's fine. It's your passion, and that's what's fueled you somehow. For some other people, it's not about the journey. It's about driving it, and they
Right.
want to they want to drive it. They want to enjoy it, and they don't want to spend their weekends on the garage. and taking risks, with the battery and so and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So there is everybody in the spectrum of EV conversion enthusiasts is wide,
Mm.
very wide. From people that just want to start their car, ship the car, and get it back 3, 4 months later and drive it, to the guy that's going to spend 10 years building it very slowly, perfectly. So uh, we need information. We need the community will embrace any project um, as far as it's feasible.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
important. Got to be feasible.
yeah.
So, as you've been doing all of these things, you've been going to a lot of events. You have a bunch planned for later this year. You mentioned, I think a couple of those I might be at as well. So I'll look forward to syncing up.
Cool.
But how have you been finding the EV community, the EV space, getting to know all of these shops and the people who have projects? Is it fun? Good energy?
Oh, it's very good energy. It's very good energy, and it's what's the most surprising is it's very different people. I
Mm.
mean, you can see them, you can see their hands. Like my hands are, I have the hands of a computer guy. Okay, I'm definitely not. I don't work in a shop, but I'm an EV conversion enthusiast.
Yeah.
Like, I love it, and now the shops are clean, um, and it's a very different world. So you see those people like looking at the EV conversion like a trend as something that's going to happen, but you can in some. So we met a lot of people at SEMA,
Hmm.
and most of them told us, okay, this is something we will have to jump. We'll have to jump on board. We can't stay here and watch everybody converting cars to electric and not doing it. Some others, so they realize it's coming or it's already here. Some others, they are willing to do it, but they don't have the project. So it's like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to train. I want to try, but I have no customer for this. Okay, some others. So there is a different level of motivation, but all of them together, it's very rewarding to talk to anyone who's been involved in the EV conversion world somehow, by building, by driving, by watching, by reading. And there is always someone that would complain about it, but that's the story of the car industry.
Right. Maybe that's how you know you're doing something right. That's how I like to think about it. If people are getting their feathers ruffled, then good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, until a certain point.
Right. All in good fun.
No, but in the EV community is very easy if you know what you're talking about and you show that you are involved in what you're doing, that you're going to spend time and you are interesting. It's not then you get adopted quite fast, and it's good. Everybody's super happy about it. I don't know. It's like any other swap or custom car.
Sure.
When someone comes to you, it's already a win. Um, it's it's an easy conversation, and it's always rewarding because they're gonna tell something nice about your build. They're gonna tell something nice about someone else build. Uh,
Hmm.
a discussion. It's yeah, it's the EV community is pretty cool.
I couldn't agree more. Um, I found the same thing. And I mean, kind of the idea behind the name of this podcast is really that I think we are within this era, this time where it's it's amazing. It's super fun. Things are changing. And in 20 years, we're going to be looking back like, wow, that was so much fun when everything was new and there was innovation happening, and being in it and while it's going on is just so much fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you see, so there is like, uh, so EV conversion started probably like seriously 20 or 25 years ago. But this was crazy people doing crazy things. Now we get all the parts from the OEMs.
Right.
So it's like serious builds. We reuse what's coming from Tesla, what's coming from Nissan, what's coming from, you name it. You can reuse it, and it's great. You don't have to create something. It's here. It's available. It's professional. It's not
Hmm.
crazy things, um, and it's um, it's more accessible in many ways. In many ways, to understand, it's easier. To build, it's easier. To drive, it's easier. To charge, it's easier. So everything is going easier on the EV world, and at the same time, you feel like, okay, my car now, I realize it smells, it leaks, it's noisy. So you're like, "Ah." once you have an electric car, if you have a classic, it's impossible not to think about converting your classic to electric. It's impossible. So yeah, it's a better version of it. So why
Yeah.
not?
I guess those crazy folks from 25 years ago maybe weren't so crazy,
They
because here
were.
we are.
No, they
We're like,
were.
yeah, this is actually a really good idea.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is yeah, in the history of cars, the first car was electric.
That's
Uh,
right. Yeah.
so it's there is no it's been in front of us for forever. But now the quality of parts, the way you can source them, is very different. So the idea was here from the beginning, but now all the everything is simpler.
Yes. So, do you have advice for people who are maybe thinking about getting into this? Favorite resources? You know, they're interested in EV conversion or maybe just electric cars in general. They're coming across them for the first time. Other than, hey, go press the go pedal on one because you'll like it. Any thoughts to share with folks?
Well, this is the promo time. No, for EV conversion, yeah, just submit your vehicle and fuel to electric. Will guide you through what it is to convert and how to do it if you want to do it.
And it's
Uh,
free,
it's free.
right?
Okay, I'm bad at it. I'm not the PR guy in the team. I'm not the marketing guy either. For electric cars, it's everywhere right now.
Hmm.
It's everywhere. Like even releasing a new model of car,
Hmm.
being gas is, I don't know. I don't know who has released. Yeah, yeah. There's the Challenger or the Charger, not a long time ago. But I feel like all new cars now are electric, and it's very easy to go, and there is many websites you can compare cars. I'm not a big fan of electric cars, new electric cars. Um, it's nothing against them, but I do like the old styles, the
The older
80s,
styles.
the 90s. I think they are more fun to watch, and they smell better. The interior smells better.
Mm-hmm.
Now you put an electric engine, and it's a dream car. I'd like to convert a Buick Grand National.
Ooh, cool
Yeah,
choice.
yeah, or a Jeep Wagoner. I don't know why those two cars they're stuck on my head. I wanna do that. The Jeep would be for the family, would be the family car.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Grand National, I'm sure someone's gonna is gonna do it. It's gonna be a sacrilege. Uh, but yeah, someone's gonna do it someday.
Maybe you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I'd like to
Got
be the first one. Yeah,
yeah, that would be cool.
yeah, that would be cool.
All right, Laurent. Well, thank you so much. This has been an awesome chat. I learned a ton. Appreciate you carving out the time, and I'll look forward to catching up with you sometime this year at one of those events.
Cool. Thank you very much for having me.